So welcome back. This is my third video of assignment of Shafque ma'am. The topic of the assignment is to read a story for 5 minutes. So actually, I don't know there is a technical issue or what, but ma'am told me to read their stories. But unfortunately, there is no available story in the third assignment. So I decided to read. Story of Atomic Habits, which is given by ma'am. So I am reading it, and I am apologized to because my editing software is not working properly, so my background noise is too disturbing us. So now I'm starting the story. On the final day of the sophomore year of high school, I was hit in the face with a baseball bat. As my classmate took a full swing, the bat slipped out of his hand and came flying towards me before striking me directly between the eyes. I have no memory of the moment of impact. The bat smashed into my face with such force that it crushed my nose into a disordered U shape. The collision sent the soft tissue of my brain slammed into the slide of my skull. Immediately, a wave of swelling surged throughout my head in the friction of a second. I had a broken nose, multiple skull fractures, and two scattered eye sockets. When I opened my eyes, I saw people staring at me, and running over to help. I looked down and noticed spots of red on my clothes. One of my classmates took the t-shirt off his back and handed it to me. I used it to plug the stream of blood rushing from my broken nose. Shocked and confused, I was unaware and of how seriously I had been injured. My teacher looped his arm around my shoulder and we began the long walk to the nurse office. Across the field, down the hill, and back into the school. Random had touched my sides, holding me upright. We took our time and walked slowly. Nobody realized that every time mattered. When we arrived at the nurse office, she asked me a series of questions. Question like what year it is. I told him 1998. I answered. It was actually 2002. Who is the president of United States? Bill Clinton. I said. The correct answer was George W. Bush. What is your mom's name? And I told 10 seconds passed. Patti. I said casually, ignoring the fact that it had been taken me 10 seconds to remember my own mom's name. That is the last question I remember. My body was unable to handle the rapid swelling in my brain, and I lost consciousness before the ambulance arrived. A minute later, I carried out of the school and taken to the local hospital. Uh, Shortly after arriving, my body began shutting down. I struggled with the basic function like swallowing and breathing. I had many squeezes of the day. Then I stopped breathing entirely, and the doctor hurried to supply me with oxygen. They also decided the local hospital was unequipped to handle the situation and ordered a helicopter to fly me to the large hospital in the Cincinnati. I was rolled out of the emergency room doors and towards the helipad across the street. The stretcher rattled on the bumpy slidewalk as one nurse pushed me along while other nurse pumped each breath into me by hand. My mother, who arrived at the hospital a few moments before, climbed into the helicopter beside me. I remained unconscious and unable to breathe on my own as she held my hand during the flight. While my mother rode with me in the helicopter, my father went home to check my brother and sister and break the news to him. He choked back tears as he explained to my sister that he would miss her ninth grade graduation ceremony that night. After passing my siblings off to family and friends, he drove to Cincinnati to meet my mother. When my mom I When my mom and I landed on the roof of the hospital, a team of nearly 20 doctors and nurses sprinted onto the helipad and wheeled me into the trauma unit. By this time, the swelling in my brain had become so severe that I was having repeated post-traumatic seizures. So 5 minutes is completed and then the story is too long, so I am stopping this video. So this was my third assignment, and sorry for the background noise. Thank you.